I'm going to say we are.
Okay, Brian, this is the worst part of streaming is it'll say, hey, you're live, but who knows if you're live. But anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome to episode of the Cretins Guild podcast. I am Jay, and with me, as always, is Bob, and we're here to talk to you about some pretty interesting stuff today. We're going to talk today about, because we don't have Corey, which is still a little weird, but, we're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to talk about some stuff that we like to talk about. And we are going to talk about sports, specifically sports movies. So we're not, don't worry for all of you that are tuning out immediately. There's some of you out there. Don't worry. There's going to be actually movie talk and film talk. So don't worry too much about that.
But fandom speak.
Yeah, exactly. As you guys know, we are part of the Podfix Network. That is podfixnetwork.com. And you can listen to casts like Always Never Right. Jill and Gina are Gen Xers who have been dear friends for over 25 years. Are they stealing our shtick?
It does sound awfully familiar.
It does sound familiar. All right. So they mix it up with their cocktail of the week, which that was Corey's idea. They provide advice. Well, we don't do that. We're more of an example of what not to do with your lives. They talk about current events and they cuss like sailors. They are stealing our shtick.
They are stealing. That is our shit.
Anyway, no, Always Never Right. Great show. Definitely do listen to it. Wonderful show. A lot of fun. Very funny. And of course, since this is a show about sports, at number 29 at goalie for your Kalamazoo Wings, I am Jay. And of course, at number 74 from Orlando, playing nose guard is Bob.
Yeah.
And on the disabled list is number 42, currently somewhere between Truth and Consequences, New Mexico, and Satan's Kingdom, Massachusetts, Corey. Now, Bob, I understand we actually we have a special situation here.
Oh, do we?
I do. I understand we have.
Yeah, let's bring in the missing one himself, Corey.
Hey. Hello.
Hi.
What's going on?
Where are you?
I'm currently in the Cretins Guild green room right now, and I have to say that the refreshments that you're offering here are pretty damn cheap. They taste a little tangy, and my tongue is kind of numb. Oh, well, I'm not supposed to be drinking that. Ah, okay. I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna anyway. Come and get me, COVID. I fucking dare you. I am in the middle of downtown Las Vegas at the much not too talked about El Cortez Hotel. And it's been an experience thus far. Yes.
Well, tell us about it.
All right. I didn't know if you had anything specific you wanted me to tell you about. God, I don't know. It's been just like ever since crossing the city borders, just sensory overload from from the limit sign to my current bed. And I certainly would have a wealth of things to talk about if I knew how to line things up. The neon confuses you with its flashing and its many colors and its kaleidoscopic aura. But it's been a hell of a thing. Like the first impression of this city was not good to me because my first hotel was at the Luxor on the Strip, and the Luxor, fine place to stay, especially if you're kind of like coming in on easy mode. But God damn, is the Strip nasty. It's the first two things I saw. These were the introductory experiences of staying in Vegas. Was A, walking into the lobby, seeing two dudes hunched over a concrete bench, just Technicolor yawning, a girl standing behind him cheering them both on, and then three other girls off to the side of the sidewalk, well outside of Gallagher Zone, just fucking going, "You're in Vegas now, bitches! That's right!" And I just couldn't sit there but, do this internally and then make sure they didn't see me. The second experience, and I think I said something about this on Twitter or elsewhere, was I was in the check-in line and somebody in checkout right next to me scored some Coke straight up right in front of the security. So so that was how I knew I was here. past those experiences, staying in the Luxor was pretty cool. But I did mostly architectural tours and such, because a large part of why I initially wasn't going to be coming here, but thanks to the northern or the Pacific Northwestern part of America burning down constantly, it seemed like an okay idea as an alternative. But the way I was able to justify it was like, well, Vegas has architecture. I'm kind of into that, so why the fuck not? Checked out the Strip. The Strip is like nothing I've ever seen, and I've lived in some architecturally rich cities before. Has either of you two seen the Adventures of Baron Munchausen?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. There was the part where the Baron and his compatriots land on the moon, and they're introduced, or they enter the city on the moon first. And you remember what that looked like, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of like flat two-dimensional images of buildings like sliding past each other, and it was very surreal. And the effect was to get across that the place that they were inhabiting isn't real, and that is precisely what the fucking Strip is like. I felt like I was in just like, and I've been to like, theme parks, not quite as often as you both have, but often enough. You live in Orlando. That's kind of like a civilian. It's you just have.
Yeah.
And the effect was nothing like this. You can constantly see the terminus of the horizon past all of these buildings, and all of this like falsehood and garishness and just, I don't know, acrid pageantry slamming your eyes over and over again. Meanwhile, on the ground, people are just like bumping into each other and they're just awash in vice. Every step you take is just another lurch towards somebody humiliating themselves. So got to see all that. Got to see the Excalibur. Got to see the Caesar's Palace was pretty pimp. I caught the water show over there, which is free because it's on the sidewalk.
Sure.
Yeah, and I decided to hightail it over to Fremont and check out the Neon Museum, which is up the street, which is how I made the decision to come down here and spend the rest of the trip in this area, which was very, very cool because there's a lot of historical trivia and just minutia to bite off onto here. This is where all of this city was founded, seemingly. But
pretty much.
Go ahead.
Keep going. You're good.
Well, sorry. Anyway, past that, I wanted to check out where the supposed real Vegas was, and I got a good look at that. All these vintage casinos and stuff run the way they used to be run, minus the interference from underbosses and capos and shit.
Sure.
And between the nicer conditions, the more sociable staff, all of the historical interest that this area brings, I gotta tell you, this is probably as far away from real fucking Vegas as it gets, because people down here, yeah, there's a bit of dizziness and some drunken revelry and stuff, especially between the Four Queens and the Fremont Hotel, that intersection where no cars dare pass. But you know what? People are there to like get educated in any one sort of discipline. Meanwhile, people on the Strip, they're just too fucking gone to realize where they are. So the real Vegas, down there, where newer Vegas was built on top of all of those shows and stuff and all that showbiz royalty and shit, because they have absolutely no control over there. Meanwhile, down here, closer to civilization. And it's ironic how those roles have kind of reversed to me. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I'm just going to shut the fuck up about this town. I know there's a bit more of a trip. We can talk about that next week if you wanna. But what have you guys been up to? What are you doing now?
Well, I actually had a question because you've been on the road now for what, 2 weeks? Okay, so you've gone from, you were in Georgia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it started in Georgia and you've gone west, young man, right?
So would you like a rundown of what I've hit so far, at least major targets of interest?
Well, just like what states have you been through now? Like you know the route you took. What states have you gone through?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have Wacko here to back me up on these, but thus far it's been Georgia. Let me see. I think Georgia hopped right into Tennessee. Then had to skirt Kentucky a little bit. Then we went through Missouri and Kansas, which basically was nothing. Those two don't count.
Yeah,
That's a long
Missouri's
way for
basically
that.
like St. Louis, and then nothing, and then Kansas City, and then nothing.
And then lots more nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, I'll tell you what though, St. Louis is pretty pimping. And if Route 66 takes me back up that way, I think it's close. I might stop there for a night or two just to check things out
Cool.
and get some of the Q. You know
Absolutely.
how I like it. So beyond Kansas, there was I think we hit Colorado finally. Colorado, then wait a minute because it's been far too long.
There we go.
There you go. Colorado has led me into Utah. Spent too long there too, and then Vegas on an audible. Tomorrow, hopefully, is going to be California, and then onto Route 66 via Arizona's.
So you're making the trip across the desert through Baker, Barstow, and Purdue?
Yep, at least until
Nice.
the drugs take hold.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There was a really cool mural to the good doctor of journalism over on I think Borden Street, right next to the El Cortez. I got a picture of it for you guys. I'll try to remember to post it later. But unsurprisingly, I have trouble remembering shit in this town. You know, it's kind of odd.
I can't imagine why.
Me neither. It's not like I've got like martini
hypnotized.
glasses all over my nightstand, which you're not going to be able to look at right now. So anyway.
I was gonna say it might just
But,
be
yeah.
the pervasive dust of cocaine in the air that's rotting your brain like a sandstorm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Grew up in Florida. He's used to that.
Yeah.
And the meth.
It's just allergies. It's just allergies. That's all that is.
So you're going to Cali tomorrow. Are you doing any particular city there?
I would like to be able to do. I'm gonna have to do Los Angeles regardless because that's where the route starts. I would like to hit San Diego because that's the site of the con. There's a lot of cultural presence there, and I want to see the Pacific Coast.
Sure.
Next to that, somebody suggested Temecula. The guy running the craps tables, by the way, at El Cortez. These guys are fucking great. So they will like chat your ear off about anything regional if you ask them to, because they've come from everywhere, and that's kind of like that's a pretty storied life to lead for at least 1 or 2 years or so. But yeah, Temecula is like southern wine country, aka the vines that ain't crispy yet.
Sure.
And once I get out of there, San Diego, LA, the plan moves forward, unless it doesn't.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It sounds like you're having a hell of an adventure.
Yes, I'm just awash in debauchery and hopefully no STDs. Although, given the choice between STDs and COVID, I'll take a couple of chiggers. I don't give a shit.
Well, I'm excited that you're on this trip. I look forward to hearing more reports from the road. When just selfishly, are you going to be heading up to Michigan?
I don't know. That remains to be seen, isn't it?
Fair play. Fair play.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you do end up here, there's always a bed waiting for you. You know that.
Fantastic. I'm straight up. I probably am, and I'm gonna sleep for like a week straight.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm just trying to play the role because I couldn't be a surprise guest if you know that I'm showing up.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
But hey, we are going to actually take over to the main topic now, Corey. If you want to stick around, we're going to be talking about sports movies. If you're interested,
I'm sorry.
I guess he ran into a connection problem there.
Maybe the Wi-Fi didn't look that bad in the Cortez Resort, but
well, maybe the mob finally got him. Who knows?
maybe they finally got to him.
All right,
so I guess we're on our own.
Yeah, I guess so. That's so strange, Bob. Corey is such a huge sports fan.
He talks about the Raging Bull all the time.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got Rocky posters all over his house. All right, so we are, all joking aside, Bob and I wanted to take the opportunity with Corey not being here to actually talk about something that we love, and that's sports. And we want to talk about some of our favorite sports movies. And what we have done is each of us have picked 5 of our favorite sports flicks, but one has to be a documentary or a docudrama, and then 4 fictionals, but they can only use the same sport once each. So basically, in the example I gave to Bob, if I have a tennis fiction movie in my list, I can also have a tennis docudrama, but I cannot have 4 hockey movies and a hockey docudrama. That's not how it's going to be.
Can you
and the
name
sport,
a tennis docudrama or document. Well, there's probably documentaries, but I can't think of a single docudrama about tennis.
McEnroe versus Borg. It's a very good movie.
I'll shut up.
The sport has to be officiated. So Fight Club cannot be in it. And for any of you saying that Fight Club is officiated, no, it's not. Shut up.
I was actually trying to find another movie to use as an example. I'm like, I can't think of one.
No, Fight Club's perfect. It's at its core, it's a movie about beating the shit out of each other and fighting, but it's not officiated. It's not a sport. We're going with
supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, we're going with a Carlin method of what is and what is not a sport here. So this is going to be a snake draft of movies, allowing so first person to pick is going to get the first pick, and then the next person will pick the next two, and then so on and so forth until we get to the point where we have all of our movies chosen.
Not that hard for just two people.
No, not difficult at all.
If we mess that up, we just 83 will be the last episode.
Yeah, it'll be done at that point, and we'll just you'll never hear from us again. But Bob, I'm going to be a good host, and I'm going to pass it off to you for the first pick.
Okay. Well, one of the movies on my list, I am positive is also on your list, so I'm just going to hold off on that because I have some backups just in case.
Oh, I've got 13 tabs open right now, so if you pick something,
I got 11, so
okay,
we're in good company here.
Excellent.
I think for the sport I'm going to pick first is going to be football.
Okay,
and it will be my docudrama.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes to football, I'm a former player myself, so I know the ins and outs and everything. And football means a lot to me. And there's a lot of football movies. I was like, wow, there's a lot.
Yes, there are.
So as I was going through like some of my favorites, and I was just coming up with a huge list, like Necessary Roughness, Ace Ventura, it's a football movie.
Yep.
The Replacements, both versions of The Longest Yard. Yes, the Adam Sandler version is good. I'm sorry. It was very good. It was before his decline, so it was. I think it's a really good movie.
I agree.
I also consider MASH a football movie because there's one football scene in it.
Okay,
that's cheating. And I could have picked a movie my mom worked on, The Waterboy, another Adam Sandler movie.
I had no idea your mom worked on that.
Yeah, they filmed most of that at the Citrus Bowl, and she worked those scenes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the movie I am going to go with is a 2006 historical drama, biopic, docudrama, whatever. And that's We Are Marshall.
Excellent film.
I absolutely love this movie. Yes, Matthew McConaughey just hams up every scene he's in. But if you know anything about the college that he was representing or the coach he was representing in this movie, he actually fit the character pretty well. It's also got Matthew Fox and Ian McShane in it. And who was that? Mike Penensky, an actor I never really heard of, but when he showed up on the scene, he portrayed at the time West Virginia's head coach, Bobby Bowden.
Okay.
And his portrayal just floored me. I was like, wow, that's spot on. Because I'm a lifelong Florida State fan, grew up with Bobby Bowden. I know most of his mannerisms and everything, and they pretty much nailed it. So yeah, We Are Marshall, one of the few movies I actually cried in watching because it's that damn good.
Okay. All right. I am going to pick for my first one. I am not going to pick my docudrama. My docudrama is going to be my last one because it is my favorite on the list. But I am going with a movie about my favorite sport, which is ice hockey. And there have not, unlike football, there have not been a lot of ice hockey movies.
There's been a few, but not a lot. Yeah.
Well, 3 of the main ones star children playing hockey in the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, those.
And well,
not the ones I first thought of.
The Mighty Ducks is a fine film. It's a fine series of films. In fact, I will even grant you that they did not even break my top 50 of sports films. The first one's close. It might actually be in there, but the 2 and 3, no. But what my personal favorite hockey film, and one that I know you love because you and I have watched it together numerous times, is Slapshot.
Yes.
It's Paul Newman is the epitome of a leading man. He is one of my top 3 favorite actors ever. And it is a movie about the Charlestown Chiefs. The city that the Charlestown Chiefs are in is in dire straits.
The mill's closing.
Yeah, the mill is closing, laying off 10,000 workers, the entire economic structure of the city of Charlestown, which is, of course, going to shut down the local minor league team, the Charlestown Chiefs. Their player coach, Reggie Dunlop, hires the Hanson brothers, who, if you don't know who the Hanson brothers are, seriously, what log have you been under? But they're the guys that foil up their knuckles, eh? And they wear the glasses and they get into the fights.
Were they Canadian?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the movie. The movie is marvelous. It is not only a great hockey movie, it is just a great movie.
It's also a love story.
It is a love story. It absolutely is a love story. And you get to see a butt at the end in a jockstrap.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, you totally do. So
there's also some boob at some point.
There is definitely some boob. It's a wonderful film. If you have never seen it, please do, because you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. But now it's a snake draft, and we're not going to screw this up. So I'm going to make my next pick.
Oh,
what?
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, okay. And this is a movie about bowling, actually.
Okay.
And this is the reason I was so quick to say I would allow it for football being an Ace Ventura is because I'm taking The Big Lebowski as my movie about bowling. The Big Lebowski is my favorite movie, flat out, ever. Period. Done. I watch it probably 5 or 6 times a year. I can quote it by heart. It is my favorite film ever. Jeff Bridges is my favorite actor ever. I love everything in the movie. I love everything about the movie. And bowling is 100% an officiated and scored game.
It is.
Especially because Walter Sobchak in the film will have you mark it fucking 0 if you put a toe over the line.
Oh, he knows the rules.
He knows the rules. So yes, The Big Lebowski, my film about bowling. And I was thinking, you know what, I'm not going to take this. I'll probably take Kingpin. Because I wanted to not just have the big 4 sports. I wanted to go a little bit outside of the normal realm. But the more I thought about it, the more I said, you know what, fuck it. It's the spirit of the game. I'm going with The Big Lebowski.
Aside from those two, can we name another bowling movie?
No. I don't think I can.
It's funny. I can name like 5 to 10 golf movies, but I can't name more than 2 bowling.
Sure. Yeah. I can name 2 golf movies off the top of my head. 3.
And if you think about that, number's going to keep on going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But bowling, I think we stall out at 2 between Kingpin and Big Lebowski. So
yeah.
All right, Bob, your next pick.
All right, like yourself, I'm going to go off the grain of the 4 major sports, and I'm kind of cheating with this, but I'm still staying within the parameters.
Sure.
And hopefully this is going to be acceptable because it's a great movie, and that's 2008's The Wrestler.
100% allowed, because it is 1, 2, 3, tab number 6 on my list. Absolutely allowed. You know, the nice thing about this game is that we're making the rules up as we go, so it doesn't matter if it's allowed or not. Fuck it. Yeah, no, it's in.
Am I the only one that cares about the fucking rules?
All right, so why The Wrestler?
Man, this movie, when I saw it, I knew there are some parallels to Jake the Snake Roberts, and it basically is his biopic. But just I think the what I really was compelled in was the dynamic between Mickey Rourke and Marissa Tomei's characters. These are 2 guys or 2 people who like use their body to make a living, and they're both getting way up in age, almost to the point where, hey, you might not want to do this anymore. It got a real fuzzy, and plus Marissa Tomei doing a striptease scene. Hell yeah. I'll see that 5 times a week. But Darren Aronofsky, I love his work. The movie was emotional. It's as deep as a puddle of water, but it's still really, really good. It's showing how this character is like basically living in his van. He drives from event to event, has like 1 or 2 pieces of gear remaining. Ends up having a heart attack at one point, and then he decides, fuck it, I'm going to keep on going because you know what? Those are my glory days, and that's all I have left to my name. I have a destroyed relationship with my daughter. I can't keep a relationship with this woman. If that's not spoiling anything for you, but and he's just abusing his body every way with both drugs and both hardcore matches. And it's kind of sad to watch this guy destroy himself because he's got nothing else left. But I guess that's what makes the movie really appealing. It's just watching this guy struggle to maintain his past glory, which we all kind of do at times.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great pick. That's an absolutely wonderful movie. Absolutely wonderful movie. What is your next pick?
Let's see. Next pick. Let's see. You already picked that one. All right. So I'm going to go with my other hockey movie.
Okay.
And this one you actually got me into. I watched it. I was like, damn, that's actually a really good movie. And that's 2011's Goon.
Goon is fucking wonderful.
I had no idea that movie would be as good as it ended up being.
It's absolutely fantastic.
It's basically a movie about hockey fights, and who doesn't love hockey fights? Come on.
Written by Jay Baruchel.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, written by him. Yeah, he wrote the whole thing. It's fucking wonderful, and he's great in it too. That's absolutely one of my favorite hockey movies. I was fluctuating between that and Slapshot on what I was going to pick, but I mean, it's Paul Newman. At the end of the day, Paul Newman's going to win every time. So yeah, I love Goon. That's a spectacular pick.
Plus, Eugene Levy's in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love anything he does.
Yeah. All right. My next pick, not one of the four major sports. Actually, I don't think any. Well, I have one more that's a major sport, but my next pick is Bring It On.
Really?
Yeah, the cheerleading flick. I love Bring It On. I think it's a wonderful movie. I really like Peyton Reed as a director. He did Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man. I think Bring It On is a smart movie. I love Kirsten Dunst. I absolutely love her, and I think she's great in the film. And I think there's a lot of really, for one, there's great stunt work in it because it's all cheerleading, and there's great acting in it too, which is kind of silly when you stop and think about it because it's a cheerleading movie. It shouldn't be good, but it's really excellent.
I think that's what turned me off when I saw the preview for it. It's like, it's a cheerleading movie. Why should I have any interest whatsoever? So what would you say to somebody like me who thought that way?
It will make you think differently, one, about cheerleading. And there's actually a whole lot of social issues in the movie that they touch on that they didn't portray in the trailers, which is kind of frustrating. It's a very forward thinking film for something that was made in 2000. So, it's funny too. Like there's some funny.
It was older.
No, 2000 is when it came out.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
But that would be number 3 for me. And my number 4 is something that I love, and it is a golf movie. And it's an Adam Sandler film. It's Happy Gilmore. On a technicality, it's also a hockey movie because he was a hockey player. But
hockey's in it for like a coffee.
It's mainly a golf film.
Yes.
It's if you have not seen Happy Gilmore, please do, because it is hilarious. Shooter McGavin is one of the best villains in film history. You will absolutely adore Adam Sandler as Happy Gilmore because it's Sandler at his best, over the top idiocy, while still being ridiculously heartfelt.
Yeah.
There's like, he does everything for his grandma. That's the only reason he gets into golf in the first place, is to save his grandma's house. That's it. That's the entire plot of the movie. It's just wonderful. It's just such a fun film.
And who was it that played Chubbs?
Oh shit. Chubbs. Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, the dude from Apollo Creed, or the guy from The Mandalorian, is in it as well. So you really can't go wrong. It's a wonderful movie. Oh, and Jaws is in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think that was the last movie he was in too.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Your ball struck my foot,
and you can count on me finding you in the parking lot.
I don't care what. Somebody his size says that to me. Like, okay, I'm walking home.
Yes. Yeah. Jackass. Anyway, your turn, Bob.
Want to go to the Sizzler later? All right. Let's stay off the beaten path, since that that's a good commonality we're going with. And this is one of my favorite. Was it a Disney movie? I'm not sure. But it was 1993 Cool Runnings.
That is a Disney movie.
It is Disney.
And it's a wonderful Disney movie. I'm so happy you picked Cool Runnings.
Yes. Dougie Doug is like essential 90s rapper artist, whatever, and he's in the movie, and like all these other guys. I'm not sure if they were all Jamaican or they all really good actors with their accents, but it also has John Candy in it. Not his last movie, but it was towards the end of his career, and my God, is there anything John Candy doesn't do that is just heartwarming, basically?
Exactly. Yeah. 100% agreed. Cool Runnings is wonderful. If you don't know it, it's I could ping you on the docudrama rule because it's technically about the Jamaican bobsled team at the but it is such a loose interpretation of their story that I will allow it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So you got me on a technicality.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it because it's not even kind of close to the actual story. It's more like, hey, the Jamaicans had a bobsled team. Let's make a movie about that kind of. Like,
and throw a lot of Hollywood at it.
Yeah, tons of Hollywood. Like, yes, they had a Canadian coach. Yes, they did compete at the '88 Olympics, but that's like it. That's all that was accurate to what happened in the movie. So
yeah, and they didn't have a rivalry with the other nations. Actually, some of the nations helped them out. It's like, oh yeah, here, have some equipment.
Yep, exactly. Is that your last pick? Is Cool?
No,
Runnings?
I got one left,
all
and
right.
This one is one of my favorites of all time. It's a baseball movie.
Okay,
which I'm a fan of the Red Sox. I'm not into baseball like some people,
sure.
But at the same time, I appreciate and respect baseball for what it is. And I love all the movies that reflect around baseball. But this one in particular is a comedy from 1989, Major League.
Oh, good choice.
Tom Bergeron, I almost said Bergeron. Bering. Oh God, how do you say his name? Beringer.
Yeah, Tom Berenger.
Berenger. Yes, Charlie Sheen. Wesley Snipes is in it.
Yep. The dude from the dude from LA Law. Corbin Burnson.
Oh, is he?
He is.
Yeah.
He's the high paid third baseman.
Yeah.
That Charlie Sheen sleeps with his wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the Wesley Snipes character who he's constantly stealing the bases and he just staples the gloves to his wall. And then by the end of the season, it's just like littered with gloves. That's a very sports thing that a lot of people are guilty of doing.
Yeah.
Like, so I would take a piece of tape that I would wrap around my wrist, and for every game I played, I would save a piece of that tape. I don't know why. It's disgusting. It's something we do. We can't explain it.
I used to save laces from shutouts.
Okay.
If I got a shutout, I would take the laces out of my skates and save them.
Oh, both laces?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
I didn't get a lot of shutouts, so it didn't cost me a lot of money. But if I got one, I would take the laces out. So.
You see, you should have just ended at that. It's like, yeah, I kept all the laces for my shutouts.
But yeah, no, that's Major League is kind of the, if you want a look into, I mean, obviously it's a farcical look, but if you want to look into what locker room life is like for sports, that's pretty close, because it's a bunch of neurotic fucking weirdos that are all hopped up on a weird goal to try and win. And they're all going to go about it any possible way they can. Like, you got Wild Thing that's just gone crazy and has to get glasses. You've got Corbin Burnson that is trying to buy his way to the win. You've got what's his name that's worshiping Joe Boo and sacrificing chickens in the locker room. You're like, that's pretty much every sports locker room where it's like, yeah, no, they're all weird. Everyone's got strange ass superstitions, and
that's right. Bob Uecker's in it.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, he was the commentator for the Indians at the time, I think.
Oh, was he?
I think so. Yeah.
I always known him from his national roles, not as a particular team. I know some announcers do that, like the guy for the Cubs.
Yeah, Harry Carey.
Harry Carey's grandson.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. Used to be an announcer for the Magic too. I can't remember what his name is. He's dead to me now.
All right. So my final one is my docudrama, and it is Miracle.
Okay.
based on the 1980 Miracle on Ice U.S. Olympic hockey team winning the gold medal against not against the Soviets. They beat the Soviets in the semifinals. Everyone forgets that part, that they had another game to win afterwards. And Miracle heavily influenced me. I actually had a movie called Miracle on Ice on VHS back in the 80s that had Steve Guttenberg in it. And it was a movie about hockey. It was a movie about the Miracle on Ice, and it was something I wore out. Like I watched.
It was about something other than the Miracle on Ice.
Well, yeah,
a weird movie.
But it was wonderful, and the movie when they made the 2004 one with Kurt Russell and fucking everybody in it. Like there's so many people in this goddamn movie. I had to see it. Like I think I saw it 4 times in the theaters, and I cry like a baby every time I watch this movie. Because the fact that they got the Al Michaels call, and it's not that difficult. I understand that because it was broadcast on ABC and was put out by Disney, and Disney owns ABC. So it's like, yeah, we got the rights. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Yeah, we got it right here.
Yeah. I understand that that's not a big deal to anybody, but to me, that was huge to actually hear the call on the ice, and just watching Herb Brooks, and Kurt Russell play Herb Brooks, and knowing what I know about Herb Brooks because being a fan of the game, he was so close to how weird Herb Brooks actually was. I love Miracle. I think it's a wonderful movie.
Is it sad that the thing I remember the most about Miracle is not the gameplay against the Russians or how the team interact or anything? It was his hair. It was such an 80s haircut. If you
ever watch the footage of it's so on, like that is like exactly what Herb Brooks' hair looked like. That's definitely memorable. All the hair in that movie is memorable.
He has memorable hair.
My actual favorite scene in that film is they're at Coach Brooks' house for Christmas, and it's just before the final cuts to make the Olympic team. And all the guys go outside and play football in the snow. And it's this 45-second scene that in the grand scheme of things really doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And if a studio exec had probably seen it before it went to press, it probably would have been cut. But like, it feels like it was tossed in late because the director knew it's like, look, this is important. This is the team building moment when these guys become a team. They're just kids playing football at this point. And it's just such a powerful and great scene. It's I love that movie so much. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite hockey movies of all time. Even though I joke about it all at the same time, but yeah, it's an awesome, powerful movie.
Yeah, it is. And there's plenty to joke about too. Like there's some goofy ass shit in the movie too. Like it took place in 1980 and 1979. There's all kinds of just ridiculous fashion to look at and laugh at and point. And I was like, why are you wearing plaid pants and a striped jacket, Herb? Come on, man.
You going golfing later?
Now those are our picks. That's our 5 each.
Just out of curiosity, we've done our 5 each. Just rattle off some of the names of other movies that made your list.
Oh, okay. Because I've closed out the tabs. Let me bring up my Slack that I messaged the names to.
Well, as you're pulling them up, I'll go over a couple of mine.
Okay.
I also had Slapshot and The Big Lebowski.
Okay.
They were going to be some of my main picks. I also had, of course, Rocky.
Yep.
And I don't know why, but I put Over the Top on the list.
The arm wrestling?
Yes.
Oh, well, fuck it, man. Hey, yeah, absolutely. It's more of a sport than Fight Club.
Well, and it's officiated. So
yeah.
Another really old movie that I found out later started off as a TV movie, and then they decided, hey, this is really good. Let's actually distribute this to theaters, and that was Brian's Song.
I don't know that one.
It's about Gail Sayers and Brian Piccolo and their first season together and how they interbonded and became friends back. And this was back when players were segregated. Like when they would go out on the road, they would stay in separate hotel rooms. But these two players were the first integrated or desegregated teammates. So that was the first time. And they bonded and they developed a really, really good friendship. Brian Piccolo ended up dying like a year later from disease. I can't remember what it is. And then Gale dedicated like the rest of his career to him. And it was a really touching movie. I also had a couple other football movies.
But before you list those, we've actually had some nominations from Corey in the chat.
Oh, are you kidding?
No, so I'm gonna read them off real quick. And there's some solid choices in here. We have The Sandlot,
okay,
A League of Their Own,
all right,
Space Jam,
oh yeah,
Molly's Game. I don't know that one.
Molly's Game.
Rookie of the Year, The Foul King, which is a Korean dramedy about lucha libre, and Basketball.
Okay,
yeah. So solid picks, Corey. Excellent stuff.
Worldly picks too.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on, Bob. Because once you're done, I will list off mine.
Well, just to wrap it up, I was thinking of like a couple other football movies. Like I had mentioned both versions of The Longest Yard. There's also Leatherheads with George Clooney. That one was a really good movie. And I thought about putting on Rudy, but nope, because fuck Notre Dame.
That's fair. So I had Leatherheads on my list because it's a great movie. John Krasinski and George Clooney. It's really good. I had The Cutting Edge, which is a figure skating movie. The Natural, which is Robert Redford about baseball. If you have not seen The Natural, oh my God, that's
one
good.
of those classics.
Somehow we both dodged Field of Dreams. Like,
is that movie really is? I mean, that's more of a love letter to baseball than it is a baseball movie.
Well, it's as much a movie about baseball as Big Lebowski is about bowling. I mean,
shut your whore mouth.
No, I mean, I'll just call it how it is. Corey says, fuck The Cutting Edge, but I don't care. I like The Cutting Edge. I had Goon on my list. I had A League of Their Own. I also had, let's see here, For the Love of the Game, which is a Kevin Costner baseball movie. Bull Durham, which is a Kevin Costner baseball movie.
I see a pattern here.
Field of Dreams, which is a Kevin Costner baseball movie. I had Goon and Goon 2. Corey said no. I mean, I completely forgot about Cutting Edge. Okay, yeah, no, good. Cutting Edge was the titties, he says. I also had here's one that Corey hasn't mentioned, and I'm shocked by Digstown, which is a James Woods movie about boxing. James Woods is a fucking crackpot, but that movie's amazing.
I don't think I've seen this.
And I had Shaolin Soccer.
Okay.
And Bend It Like Beckham. So I had 2 soccer movies on my list as well.
Almost as much bowling movies as we can name.
Yeah.
No, actually, I could. Ladybugs. That's another soccer movie.
Oh yeah. And actually, Corey brought up another bowling movie in the chat, and that was Mystery Men because the bowler was in it.
Why is he chatting so much when he's didn't want to participate to begin with?
I don't know. It's fine. He's having fun.
Okay.
Now, are there any super popular sports movies that people adore? He says cocaine. That's why. Are there any super popular sports movies that you just don't get the adoration for?
Field of Dreams is one of them.
Okay.
Rudy is another one. Because fuck Notre Dame.
Yep.
I could say that all day long, and it kind of blinds my thought of anything else. I'm sure there's more. They're just not coming to me right now, but yeah, those are like 2 or the 3 of the big ones.
Rudy would be on my list as well. I don't quite as vehemently despise Notre Dame as you do, but that might just be because I've let my guard down being so close to it up here. I don't love a lot of football movies. Football's not my sport. But there are certain ones like the ones you've named today where it's like, yes, what's fuck. The 2 that you mentioned that were the one that Burt Reynolds.
Oh, Longest Yard.
Longest Yard. Jesus Christ, I could not forget it. I could not remember it. I love Longest Yard. I really, really love Leatherheads. We Are Marshall is magnificent. But like people will go nuts for Any Given Sunday, and I'm like, that was an average movie at best. I don't like The Replacements. I don't like North Dallas 40, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. Like I don't know, not my thing.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday was an okay movie with a good speech. After that, it's like,
yeah,
all right. Oh, there's some football in it.
You know what? Almost Blue Chips almost made my list.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
I
disaster.
fucking loved Blue Chips, and it's so bad. Like, it is a terrible goddamn movie.
That's just about a Bobby Knight biopic right there.
Basically, yeah. And then there was Friday Night Lights. I liked Friday Night Lights, the original movie. So
I still need to see that.
it's pretty good. And Corey asked, "Has anyone seen Fighting with My Family yet?"
Not yet.
Neither
It's
have
on
I.
Hulu.
It is on Hulu. It's also on Amazon Prime. I have not watched it yet, though. I want to, because I think it looks pretty good. But we'll see.
It's one of those movies. I've been doing a lot of rearranging in my office, so I've been turning on a lot of stuff that I can use as background noise. And that's one of those movies I actually want to sit down and watch. I'm like, okay, I'm taking this in. All right, sure, great movie. Okay,
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's not a just have it on for noise. You want to actually pay attention and see how it is. I think that's going to do it for sports movies, though. But Bob, I understand that you went through. You went to something unique. I mean, it is 2020 and the world is a dumpster fire. And despite the fact that you are significantly braver than I am and you're actually going to theme parks, you made the smart decision to go to a drive-through haunted experience called the Horror Road. Yeah.
Yes. This was something that kind of dropped in my lap. And I contacted another vlogger friend of mine, Chris from Ear to Ear Magic. And I said, "Hey, I got this extra ticket. You want to go? It might be a disaster. It might be fun. We don't know." I was like, "All right, sure, let's check it out," because there's only 2 houses at Universal, which are actually really well done, and I highly recommend because they are very safe. But
I really liked your vlog about those.
cool.
I wish I was there so I could actually go see the Bride of Frankenstein house, because that sounded. I could see how excited you were about it when you're like, "Guys, that was amazing." I was like, "Okay, yeah, no, he actually really dug that."
Yeah, and I don't know if it was so much because it was fresh in my mind and it's all we have. So just the bombardment of emotion just coming into me, I was like, "This is really good." So I'm gonna like take a step back, think about it. Was it really that good? And the answer, yeah, it was.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it. It was. Corey would absolutely freaking love it. And I wish I could have taken video inside, because if you could see some of the steps that they're taking to keep people safe, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I could do that. That looks good. But this thing, the Haunted Road, it is what it sounds like. It's a drive-through haunted experience. Basically, they give you a list. I think there's 10 different scenes. Oh God, what is he saying?
Corey asks if they were Franken boobies.
I need to get to that. If he's asking about the Horror Nights house, then no.
I think that's just kind of a universal question. You know,
was there any scenes where I felt like doling out singles to ladies in cages? Yeah, I felt like it. Never did it though. But all right, so this drive-through experience, there's not much to talk about. It was pretty simple. The same time Chris and I were in the car, we're going, you know what? This is really fucking stupid. I am so happy to be here right now. If you've ever been in those kind of situations where this is the dumbest shit. They would have like 5 cars park and watch this scene. And you would turn your radio so you could hear the audio, the pre-recorded audio and music of what they're performing to. And for what it was pretty cool. It was like a twisted tale of nursery rhymes, like Hansel and Gretel and Rapunzel and all that. Big Bad Wolf shows up. And then I think the coolest thing was they did one scene where this tortured character was turned into a scarecrow. So they had him pinned up against this board and dressed like a scarecrow. And they had this laser beam shooting across a layer of fog. So it all imitated like swamp water. And it was really, really cool because as you're sitting in your car looking out the window, you can't see if someone's going to just pop right up because of the smoke and the laser effect. We joked that, oh, this must be the high budget scene right here because everything else was pretty damn cheap. As they're doing this, the scarecrow's talking, and as you're going through each scene, Rapunzel is there with you, and she's trying to solve this mystery of who killed her lover and everything. When she saw him drop out of the tower, I don't know what the mystery is. As they're talking, these characters dressed as crows are going up to your car and they go, caw, caw. If you're watching this direction, you hear caw coming right behind your head. They throw you off a little bit. And there was probably like 6, 7, 8 of them running around back and forth, just going crazy with little Black & Decker flashlights, because that's really scary, apparently. Just yelling out caw. And we were just joking about it the whole time. It's like, okay, the whole crow thing is crazy. As we're getting through all the scenes, we get to the finale, and the bad guy's there, and he says, I'll feed him to the crows. And we're both like, oh, God, no, don't bring out the crows again. Because they're bringing out all these monsters and characters from previous scenes. And it's like, where are the crows? Where are they? We're looking for them. They better not jump out, because we've had enough. But overall, it was a lot of fun for what it was. And, a drive-through haunted show, it's such a 2020 thing. I can't explain how much. There's another one in town. I might do that one a little bit later. It's down in Kissimmee, but this one was over by UCF. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like fun, like good. It's like when we went to Corey and I went to Casadega one year for their haunted walkthrough, and it was the most ridiculous, awful shit I've ever seen. Like. There was one particular guy, but it was magical, 'cause it was stupid, but it's like, this is fucking great. Like, but there was one guy who is dressed as the devil, and we're walking through. We're like, okay, because right before that there was a dude with a chainsaw, which legit made us jump. So we come around the corner, and there's this guy like dressed like dollar store devil, right, with the plastic horns and everything.
Sure.
And he goes, "I am the great Phaeton," and we both just are standing there looking at him. We're like, what?
Rob Zombie video's missing a character.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And yeah, so that was our one time we went to Casadega, was to see the great Phaeton on his magical throne of life. It's like, all right, dude, we're so scared. And I'm shocked Corey has not commented on the great Satan. He doesn't remember him.
He's probably laughing his ass off right now.
That could be too. I don't typically do these on episodes, but if you guys are, if you guys are watching this live stream on YouTube, yeah, Bob got it. He's laughing his ass off. Or are watching this on a rebroadcast, comment down below. Let us know on any local haunted stuff you guys have going on, because we've all got all kinds of fun stuff going on right now with the holidays coming up, and 2020 being fuck 2020. Like that's what we got. We got 2020 is fucking 2020. So if you guys are doing anything to celebrate holidays in a unique way that is safe, let us know down below.
Also, if you haven't already, go vote. This is my ballot. Yeah. It's going in the mail today or tomorrow.
Go vote. Corey said he wants to come back real quick.
Oh,
so if we can invite him back.
Oh, I don't know. Should we dare?
I think we need to let the great Phaeton back, or he's going to have our thulv.
All right. Welcome him in.
Okay.
I forgot all about him. Oh my God, that shit was crazy. Oh God. The other thing that I remembered from that visit was there was like a lot of like dead time between hot spots on that walk. And I remember the guy, I think the guy on like it was either like a golf cart or something. He asked like one of the attendants what he was doing here. And it turned into like a discussion for what he's going to school for. And I remember the kid going, guitar, like that. Just anyway, I wanted to tell you about like a fucking corker of a Halloween celebration. I'm pretty sure that I've told you about Manitou Springs. I can't believe I forgot about this during the initial segment, but it was a kind of like a suburb or a township adjacent to Denver. That was where, if you follow my Instagram, by the way, Hoochador. I posted the pinball gallery there. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. They do Halloween there right, and they do it Halloween proper fucking bonkers, because you know what Manitou Springs does every year? A coffin race.
Explain.
I'm not fucking kidding you. They will build basically soapbox derby cars, like Boy Scout style, out of coffins, and they race them downhill. There's lore behind this too, so you get to hear about that. Apparently, the very first coffin race was impromptu due to a catastrophic flood that had assailed the town sometime in the beginning of the 20th century. Therefore, upending or at least eroding the topsoil from the local cemetery. One of the coffins popped out, belonging to one Emma Crawford, and as a result, because that town has altitude, coursed its way down through the main street, down through downtown, and on its way out towards Denver. So that's the Emma Crawford. That's the Emma Crawford Festival. How fucking beautiful is that?
So you could have surfed a coffin down.
Oh man, I don't know if they're manned yet, because that could be that could be some kind of a hazard. Of course, there is cushioning on the inside of the damn thing, so who knows? But yeah, they're not having it this year for, guess why? But if I had stayed there for a little bit longer, and by the way, if you ever do make your way out to Colorado, that would be the place to hit. Nobody ever talks about this joint, but it was so fucking cool. Anyway, they would have held the races while I was there, and I could have seen the whole thing for myself. But unfortunately, luck wasn't on my side this time.
I don't understand how you didn't just stay.
Oh, unmuted. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've actually got quite a few business cards of local rents and landlords over there, so who the hell knows? There's a lot to like about that town. I mean, I showed you the fucking Christmas shop that they have there. That thing's open year round, and it's right across the street from a comic book store. I mean, yeah. All right. Well, Corey's out. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, Corey.
You mean it this time?
Yeah, so that was I have been talking to Corey about that stuff, and yeah, Manitou Springs sounds amazing, absolutely amazing. But guys, that is going to do it for this episode. This was a fun one, Bob. This is a good time.
This was your idea, actually.
Well, it was still fun. This was a good episode. This is lots of energy in this one. This is good. We do have a Patreon page, so you can search for Cretins Guild on Patreon, and sometimes Bob will put up early or exclusive content on there, which is pretty awesome. If you go to tpublic.com and search Cretins Guild as one word, you will find all of our amazing shirts. And Bob, you just put up a new one this week about having to wear a mask at the parks, right?
Yeah, I'm making fun of the some of the signs that they've been putting up at some of the parks. They did one for Universal, and Disney just put one up saying to put on your mask the right way or you'll be asked to leave. And I was like, sure, I'll make that a shirt for us.
They actually just posted, they changed some text on their website today that basically said, if you're not willing to wear a mask, reschedule your vacation. Yeah. Which is like, God damn. All right. Way to go, Disney. Good.
Yeah, they're not playing around, and some people are drawing attention to themselves by getting into the park, taking their mask off, and then screaming, "I shouldn't be wearing a mask." It's like, dude, just leave,
go away. Ugh, God, wear a mask, people. Please wear a mask. If you are on the social medias, please fuck that shit. If you are on the social media, please do follow us on Twitter, Instagram,
and
and you can also come onto our Discord server and be able to chat with us there. And please do come on the Discord server, because it's basically just Bob, me, Corey, and Adam talking to each other. Every once in a while, Goobs is there, and once in a great while, Crumb will pop in. But no, that doesn't really happen.
It's a good way if you want to converse with us.
Yeah, exactly. And we've all got it on our devices, so yeah, we're always there. So please do pop in. You can follow Bob on YouTube on his other channel. It's Skipper Bob's Breakdowns. You can follow me on YouTube on my gaming channel. That's Square Pegs. We are part of the Podfix Network, as we mentioned earlier. And are we doing the blurb at the end there, Bob? That's below the final bullet point.
Oh,
about Gods and Monsters.
Oh, you know what? I am not prepared for that right now.
Okay, so we're going to ignore that. So stay tuned to future episodes for possibly that coming up. And so, as I said, guys, we are part of the Podfix Network. So to all of our new and all of our followers, God, fuck a duck. So to all of our followers,
new and old,
we say, welcome to the guild.